Hi, my name is Yasmin Shavira. I work with the Better Lesson Master Teacher Project and teach 7th grade math. There was a comment for this lesson that seemed to point out that it might be a little difficult to read through my narrative and figure out what's going on in this game, especially the way that the resources have been given. So on the screen is the resource for the cards that I gave you. When you print out those resources single-sided, they come out in this form. And what you want to do is you want to keep them in this particular order. The card information followed by the back of the card. The next page followed by its back page, and so on and so forth. Keep the same order that I've given you in the resource document, which you see on the screen. When you set this to print at your school printer or Kinko's, make sure that you set it to be double-sided, and what you will get is a sheet that looks like this for page 1, and page 2 will be copied correctly on the back. I made sure to organize these back parts so that they make sense to the front. Then what you want to do is you want to use your handy dandy cutter or go old school with scissors and cut up those cards individually, and you'll see that when you cut them out this way, the back of the card has a number on it. The first card included in each one is the sample card. This is the one that I use with students so that they know how to play the game. And it essentially works like this. Every student is going to get a card and they're going to have it face down. This is student A's example. When they're done with this information, which is to highlight the two quantities being given and make sure they give this card to student B, they're going to highlight here and give this card to student B. Student B will then have this card. All student B's have the same card that indicates use the highlighted information given to you to write a ratio in the form of a fraction. Make sure to include units and do not reduce. And then these students give their card with their answer down here to student C. Now, one thing that's going to throw kids off about this card, which on the screen is better to see here, you'll see, is that none of these are unit rates. Student C is responsible for calculating an equivalent rate, not a unit rate. This serves the purpose of one student is not doing all the work, and this student is finding an equivalent rate and showing student D how they can use equivalent fractions to find the unit rate. The main focus of this lesson, or this card rather, card D, is per what. We know when calculating ratios that we can calculate two different kinds of unit rates for any given context. So in this card, students D will have to make sure they're thinking about what it means per minute. So as you can see, while students are working on cards, some students may feel like they have nothing to do, but there is something for each student to do. Student D, for example, can start figuring out what their proportion is going to look like. Who's going to be on top, who's going to be on the bottom. Student C can focus on figuring out what units are going to be in the initial ratio. What are they looking for student B to give them? Student B is going to be thinking about the units that student A is going to give them and perhaps set up a fraction and have it ready to go. Student B, I can imagine, won't have as much to do as the rest of the students, so there may be an additional reflection added later on this year where I think about what kind of task to give them. Perhaps they need an example. Perhaps they all get the sample and they can all highlight the parts that are being given and use those highlighted pieces to practice before they get student A's card. Should be quick, and I hope that that's helpful explanation. Thank you.